All right, guys, we're back now on Desert Oasis, and we do see Protoss now for IdrA, so we will see our PvZ matchup that we were promised this week, and Machine actually practiced for quite a lot. He said he was underprepared for a Zerg v Zerg fight, and IdrA, obviously playing on those Asia servers, was actually quite prepared for a ZVZ. So, Sean, what do you know about IdrA's Protoss play?
Well, I mean, I actually played against his Protoss. I played him in a Protoss versus Protoss, and he loves doing lots of Colossus Rush type actions. We see IdrA spawning at the bottom as the purple Protoss for once instead of Zerg, and we see Machine spawning as the pink Zerg up north. And oh my god, I mean, I will spend a little time talking about the Colossus, but look down here at IdrA's base. He's already sending a probe. Looks like we're going to see some sort of proxy action. Now, this is very uncharacteristic of IdrA. In Starcraft 1, he loved playing straight-up solid games, and in fact, if anyone cheesed him, he would basically complain that they weren't playing him in a real game and that the only way they could win is by doing some sort of cheesy all-in game early. But clearly we're seeing IdrA use the element of surprise here against Machine.
All right, and one thing I gotta ask you, just for the community out there, do you think IdrA's carrier play is going to be really strong if he ends up going at this match?
Well, I don't disagree that building carriers is a useful skill to have, but I think this proxy is going to make it a little bit tough to get carriers in this spot. And look at this, building right underneath the ramp. I mean, this is going to be really easy for Machine to spot if he chooses to send out some sort of scout. And what's so annoying about this situation for Machine is that on this map, early expands are so common because the distances between the bases are just so huge. And look at this, it looks like he's going to be trying to wall in Machine. Machine was trying to send out a drone forward, but he suddenly spotted this gateway and this forge going down. Oh, look at this. This is a beautiful play, like right here by IdrA, walling in his opponent. Look, you can't even get these drones out right now. In StarCraft 1, this was a very popular build on a map like Sin Chu Peng Ryung, for any of you StarCraft 1 fanboys out there. Players would do this sort of thing as Protoss, where they'd wall the Zerg player in, but it was so hard to get that building placement down just right. But as we're seeing right now, IdrA knows exactly how to place these buildings, and in StarCraft 2, it's much easier to make Zergling-tight wall-offs. And look at this, he's going to be offensive cannoning the back of his base. This is such a weird opening to do.
We do see him now, Machine pulling 3 drones, trying to figure out what in the world to do against this. He's probably a little bit confused right now. We see him putting down a spine crawler inside of his base, another spine crawler now, and he's also spawning those Zerglings. We do see that cannon near Machine's ramp finish, and the second one behind his mineral line is about to finish. He's going to be able to probably attack those drones once he gets a scouter in there. We do see that Zealot coming out, so we will see now those cannons firing in. We see a second cannon going down now right outside his peon mine. He needs to pull that Overlord back or he's going to be that much farther behind in supply. We see a great surround, however, though, on that Zealot
if he
there.
can get the Zealot, that's going to be huge. If he can get the Zealot, it does not look like he's going to be able to get the Zealot. The first spine crawler looks like it is going to go down. But look at this, just target firing that cannon. The first spine crawler is down. And this is huge if he can manage to take this thing out. He needs to target fire that Zealot. Oh, right now there is no vision up that ramp. So it looks like this is going to be a huge benefit for Machine to be able to hold this off. And oh my god, he's out of range of that other cannon and with that other Zealot coming up. Oh my god, this is so huge. And now shooting up the ramp, trying to take out that second spine crawler. This is just such an obnoxious situation to be in.
Now we do see that Zealot there scouting for that cannon, obviously hitting that spine crawler, and the spine crawler not able to attack back. Possibly, do you think Machine might uproot that spine crawler and possibly move it into a little bit better location?
Well, what's so, great by this play of IdrA is that with these Zealots up on the high ground ramp, oh, hold that thought, look, just coming forward, going to try to rush down this spine crawler, but oh, it is not enough. Looks like he might actually just be able to target fire that Zealot and take it out. What's so annoying about the situation is that cannons have the same range as spine crawlers, so until he's able to kill off everything that is up on this high ground, there's going to be no way that he can advance forward and take out this cannon. And look now, advancing both of those spine crawlers forward, it looks like Machine might barely be able to hold this off.
Now,
we'll see.
Looking back at IdrA's base, we do see him getting that gas and also a pylon, so he might be ready and might be understanding that he should be losing this little early proxy. I mean, would you call this a forged proxy or just a straight-up proxy?
Yeah, this is just some sort of nice, cute little tactic that I'm definitely going to steal. That's that's what I would refer to it as. But look at this, trying to push forward with the spine crawlers, but these cannons just do so much damage. This is something a lot of players have talked about in Starcraft 2, the fact that if you can see up high ground, you still do full damage. So there's no advantage for being on the high ground. And, oh, look at this, the spine crawler can actually attack this cannon, or excuse me, this pylon right here. So this is huge if he can manage to take this down. I mean, those pylons don't build particularly fast, so, I mean, if he can just take this out, these Zerglings are going to do a ton of damage, but, I mean, if we just go to the unit counting station, there's already so much of a lead for IdrA. He has 18 drones up, has that cybernetics core down, and look at this. That pylon is down, the Queen wailing on this cannon, trying to do as much damage as possible, but it looks like... Oh, man, I think that Queen can actually still take a few more pot shots at that photon cannon, and this would be huge if he can take it out.
Yeah, we do see IdrA obviously still preparing for a little bit of a later game. He's getting a gateway now in his base with the second pylon. He's actually pulling that probe away from the ramp of Machine. He knows that little war is lost, so he's going to go ahead and pull back and prepare for the mid-game now. We see Machine easily taking those Zerglings up. Still, I mean, that's a great wall-off. There's only 5 Zerglings able to attack that forge and that gateway, so I think you're going to start seeing possibly this strat a little bit more common now on the US servers. It might already be common there in the Asia servers, which is a pretty interesting thing to see. We see him moving that spine crawler in to kind of help get those buildings down. I think we might see him try to rush those Zerglings across the map and kind of attack IdrA, maybe hurt his economy a little bit. We do see a sentry being chrono boosted now in IdrA's base, which is a really smart play because he's probably thinking that Machine is going to rush those Zerglings across the map, but he's going to be able to wall off there at the ramp with that force field, which is a great and smart ability from those sentries.
Yeah, you got to be a little careful with those sentries though, because good players will run up, the sentry will throw down the force field, and then the Zerg player will just back off, count to 10, and then run right back up the ramp again, you know. Very, very good players are highly skilled at just timing that with the Zerglings. But what I love so much about IdrA's play in particular is that if you just go to the unit counting station and pretend for a moment that this early rush didn't happen, it just looks like a very normal-looking game where the Protoss is way ahead on probes somehow. And that's what's so important to note about IdrA's play. It's not something that is used to immediately win the game early on, but it's instead used to create this massive advantage. And here we see these Zerglings running up the ramp. Oh, what a beautiful force field rushing up here. Looks like he will not be able to take out that sentry. And look at this. 3 Zealots pop up just in time to make a complete wall-off at that ramp. This is just incredible timing by IdrA, being able to hold everything off right now. We do see a layer going down for Machine, so we might see some sort of Mutalisk transition coming up, considering how many Protoss players find Mutalisks difficult to deal with.
Now, we do see a natural expansion also going down from Machine, so he's possibly going to pull ahead here in the economy game. We do see 4 gateways, however, though, inside of IdrA's base. With the warp gate ability now finished, we're probably going to be seeing those gateways change into warp gates, and there we go, now seeing them. Being able to warp those units in a lot quicker is going to help him amass a large zealot force, and we do already see 6 zealots now for IdrA, now 8 zealots. 3 sentries and 8 zealots, 4 sentries and 8 zealots. We might see an attack coming from IdrA here as he moves out, possibly going across the base, or across the map, excuse me. And we do see Machine now sending a Zergling over there to kind of scout. He does have that Zergling upgrade, I think. Yeah,
yes,
he does have it. Yeah. And he's going to be able to see IdrA's forces here coming towards him now. He's probably going to prepare for this. We do see him using those creep tumors now to kind of spawn the creep around his base, which is a smart play because those Zerglings are going to be even faster, and he's going to be able to maneuver around those Zealots and possibly get the best position to attack. We do see him spawning some roaches now as he sees IdrA kind of come across the map, and we see a pylon over there now from IdrA with that probe that he used to proxy with. So we're going to see him able to support his forces a lot better here. So now we see IdrA going to this natural expansion of Machine, and Sean, I'm going to go ahead and let you cast this. We see another pylon being built there on the ram of the creep.
This is a huge push right now. That warp gate came up just in time, and it's going to be all up to Machine's macro. Can he make enough roaches in this huge attack in order to defend? But it looks like there are just too many Zealots to deal with 2 more roaches coming down the ramp, and units just constantly being warped in at that pylon at the right side of the map, and Zealots wreaking havoc over there at the hatchery of Machine, and it looks like these sentries are just doing so much damage. Good game. Wow, an impressive 3-0 victory from IdrA.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like that from a Protoss player in a PvZ matchup, especially on that map. I always expect kind of a late game, or a late game, I guess to say that sounds kind of weird, but see that on that map because those bases are so far apart and there's two lanes are so far apart from each other. I mean, that strategy was pretty amazing to see. Do you think we're going to possibly see that a lot more common now?
Well, I think a lot of players are going to try to pull it off and perhaps butcher it here and there, but I think the most important thing is that it'll probably make Zerg players be a little bit less eager with that second Overlord, because really, if you just send your second Overlord straight to your natural expansion and just poke around in that area, you're going to be able to figure out exactly what's going on. And that's one of the most important things with early Overlords, is just what your scouting pattern is. A lot of players just sort of default send him to the opponent's base and just say, well, I guess we'll hope to see what he's doing. But it's after you've played a lot of games, you get losses like that, and you can start scouting with a lot of purpose. So even though I think a lot of players are going to try to start pulling it off, I think Zergs are going to respond appropriately, and then it's going to even back out again.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. IdrA defeating Machine 3-0. 2 games as ZVZ and 1 game as a PVC, as we just saw. Now, of course, remember you can go and vote for next week's competitor who's going to be playing against IdrA on the TeamLiquid.net MLG Showcase Series forum and also on godfrag.com. So remember to vote. And the poll will be going up on Monday night, most likely around 9 Central, 10 EST. And Sean, do you have any last words before we close things out here?
Well, it really makes me want to go start smurfing on Asia and Europe, playing, one race on each server and see how good I can get. Because, I think that's one of the big keys to IdrA's success, is the fact that he's able to see all these different sorts of play styles. I mean, for instance, I know on the Asia servers, a lot of Terran players are doing Marine SCV rushes against Protoss players, but on the US servers, I've hardly ever experienced it. So, I mean, the more experience, the merrier.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Sean saying go get yourself an Asia StarCraft 2 beta key if you can to help prepare on those other races. And we will be back next week for Week 5 of the MLG StarCraft 2 King of the Beta Hills show match series.